hooked up here
Okay.
in the pilot suit. Might get a chance to fly.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Gabriel is our pilot. So now I'm on this really cool journey into my pure essence or myself, which I think I was before all of this shit went down. But now I'm learning about the flow of life. There's a current in life that if you don't adapt to it, if you don't move, if you continually try to resist or push, the universe is gonna slam you. So now I'm really learning what my pure essence is. And in that's self-referral. There's no fear. There's no fear about life situations because that's just it. They're life situations. But what's the undercurrent of that is always pure and true. And if I can learn to adapt with the currents of life, swim whatever way the current moves, then I'm going to be successful no matter what. So that's what I've learned over these past few weeks. How do we get into more of a self-referral state of mind? Well, step one is to let go of the illusion of control. as the Shaw woman or shaman say, that the rigid tree can never survive the storm. So what happens to a really rigid tree? It snaps. But instead you want to think about yourself as the swaying tree. So how do we get into that state? Well, usually the life will just slam you down.
A 500-pound superplex! Oh my God! What the hell?
And you'll come completely undone. So that's what happened to me with CrossFit. It's gone. Just like that. Everything that I've worked for. So I could either resist that and be bitter, angry, twisted, salty, or I can move forward. I have a choice here, which is super cool to realize. So I am going to devote myself to more of a spiritual practice. I was able to devote myself to a physical practice for 5 years. So now I'm going to try a spiritual practice. I'm still learning this, but some of the ways I've read is to get out of the judgmental, analytical, critical, busy mind that we always have. And for me, one way that I always used to do that was go work out. But after a while, that just doesn't work anymore. You don't get into that flow state. So now I'm learning to be silent, be still. And within that stillness, you create gap between your thoughts and your situations. And that gap is the potential of all kinds of possibilities, to really understand your energy, your life force, and what that life force needs to be applied to. And then secondly is communion with nature. So I talked about this on the last video, but communion with nature is so important. That's going to get you into your flow, because nature just is. It has no time. It's just in space, doing its thing, living. And I think a lot of times it's hard for us to just be. I know for myself it's really hard for me to be. So, communion with nature.